Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another week of the bulk series. In today's video, we're doing a highly requested shop with me. And then on top of that, I'm gonna give you a complete walkthrough of how I prep my meals throughout the week. But first things first, if you've been keeping up with the series, you know that I was sitting in a 300 calorie surplus. And I actually coasted with that surplus for an entire month. But I want you to keep this in mind. We just had Thanksgiving and there was a holiday weekend. So I kind of steered away from my diet. But I was seeing a gradual weight gain throughout the entire month, but I'm finally reaching a point where my weight's starting to become stagnant, and I've been sitting at 185 for the past few days. So it's time to make the proper adjustments and up that caloric surplus from 300 calories to 600 calories. So I'll be eating 3,600 calories, and we'll most likely do that for a week, and then we'll reevaluate and go from there. And I'll show you guys exactly how to make adjustments later on in the video, but we're gonna dive into the shopping haul. My advice to you guys is if you have a Costco in your area, be sure to get a Costco membership. I shop bi-weekly, and the reason for that is I can buy everything in bulk, and it's the best way to go. That's how you keep things affordable, but we're gonna get after it. And for those new to the series, I've linked my updated diet in the description down below. So if you wanna see exactly what I eat on a daily basis, you can go check that out. But here's our shopping list for today. And the goal is to stay under $250, but we'll see how it goes. And I'll be sure to throw everything up on the screen for you so you can see exactly how much each item costs. And I want you to take into account that this is all preference and there's plenty of alternative options that you guys could take to make things more affordable. As I mentioned earlier in the series, I prioritize obtaining all of my proteins from Whole Foods. Even though it might be on the pricier end, from my perspective, it's a worthwhile investment. Opting for protein-rich whole foods ensures a balanced diet, and it makes it easier to absorb and digest your foods. I think this is the best route for getting the most out of all of your proteins. And regarding my liquid intake, aside from breakfast, water is my primary choice throughout the day. In the mornings, I typically have 4 ounces of orange juice and creatine, along with a half cup of almond milk for my morning oats. The good thing about some of these items is you only have to purchase them once and they'll last you throughout the month. To give you an idea, my monthly expense for food while bulking is roughly $500 to $550 a month, give or take. It is an investment, but food is the key priority for growth. A proper diet should be your primary focus. And here's what our total came out to. After I get this packed up, I'll catch you guys back at the crib to meal prep some of the food for the week. So my diet consists of 5 meals on a daily basis, and 2 of the 5 meals I meal prep at the beginning of the week. And the reason for this is solely because of time management. I would much rather get this done all at once rather than having to make meals throughout the day, because it just helps me prioritize other things like this, for example. And I'm gonna walk you through how I prep my chicken at the beginning of the week. And a few things that you're going to need is an air fryer, seasoning packets, gallon-sized Ziploc baggie, and olive or avocado oil, either works. But to start out, the chicken tenderloins come in 6 different packets. We're gonna cut those up, and we're only gonna use 2 of them today, and then throw the rest in the freezer. This will last us for the next few weeks. Next up, we're gonna get the 2 chicken tenderloin packets in a Ziploc baggie. Next up, we're gonna get our seasoning packet, and this is the seasoning packet that I'm using today. And we're gonna pour that all in there. And then after, we're gonna get 1/4 cup of avocado oil and 1/4 cup of water and pour it in the bag as well. After those ingredients are in there, you're gonna wanna zip up the baggie and make sure there's no air in it. And you're gonna massage it around, make sure the seasoning gets around on all the tenderloins. And once you feel like you got the seasoning all over the tenderloins, throw it up in the fridge, and I let that sit overnight just so it can marinate. And as the next day comes around, we're gonna pull that out and we're gonna preheat an air fryer at 400 degrees. And then we're gonna throw the chicken tenderloins up in there. And we're gonna do a total of 10 minutes, but at the 5-minute mark, take it out and flip the tenderloins just so it cooks all the way through on both sides, and then throw it in for the last 5 minutes. Make sure you have Tupperware while meal prepping. And we're gonna separate this, cut it up, and I do 4 ounces in a container because that's my serving size. And I don't eat this every day for the chicken sliders. I switch off between chicken sliders and Canadian bacon sliders. And it's as simple as that. The air fryer is goated for meal prepping. I think I got my air fryer at Costco for like 35 bucks. But that's how all my chicken is prepped for the week. All we have left is ground beef, potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and rice. That's my 4th meal out of the 5 meals throughout the day. It does take a little bit longer, but it is a similar process. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna go tackle a workout, break a sweat, and then we're gonna get back to it, and I'll show you how I prep my other meal. And also I wanted to mention, I put my weight tracker in the description down below as well. So if you wanna keep track of your weight throughout your bulk and you don't know where to start, that's the printout that I use. And if you have any questions, be sure to put it down in the comments. But we're gonna go get this workout and then we'll go about the rest of the day.
Call it what you want. My dog hit my line, I hit him back like what you want. I'm like, ooh. Hit the target one. Took a right turn and now we back inside the
Come on, you have 1 inch. Nice.
Oh, that was the fucking ugliest rep ever. All right, guys, what we got today is chest. And what we're starting out with is just a warm-up set of 8 reps. And then our sets are gonna be a little bit different today. We're gonna do sets of 5 for 2. And then we're gonna do sets of 3 for 2. And then we're gonna do 2 1-rep maxes. And then we'll build from there. But stick around if you want a chest workout. Oh man, that felt way better than a few weeks ago.
Nice, come on. Come on. Nice.
We just got done with flat bench and it went pretty good. You know, slow and steady wins the race. At the start of the bulk, when we tested our maxes, I did 2 plates and a 10 for my max, and we did 2 plates and a 25. It was an ugly rep, but you know, we got it. And it'll only keep going up as I gain weight and as we go out throughout this process of the bulk. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go over to an incline bench. We're gonna do 2 working sets of 6 to 8, and then we're gonna do 1 burnout, and the burnout's gonna be a 3-2-3, and I'll be doing those throughout the entire bulk. You'll see them a ton, but we'll walk you through it. What we got to finish off bench, we're gonna do 3-2-3, and what we have loaded on is a plate and a 35. Under this 25 is a 10. So I'm gonna do 3 10-second eccentrics. Juan's gonna help me back to the top, and then we'll rack it, we'll take off the weights. We'll do it 2 more times, rack it, take off the weights, and then we'll finish off with 3 reps with just the plate, and then we'll move on to the next movement. My arms are losing it. Sorry, I'm not much help.
That's all right.
Holy shit, I can't even move. It's like my arms are just like went numb or something.
Ooh. That was a workout.
All right, guys, we're gonna finish off with high to low push press. We're just gonna do 2 working sets, then we're gonna get out of here. So I just got back to the crib and I'm going to walk you through how I changed my caloric surplus. It's pretty simple. You just pretty much add foods that you'd prefer to eat throughout the day, or you can change your serving sizes. And I'm going to do both to up my caloric surplus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another serving of bread in my third meal. Instead of 2 slices, I'll eat 3 slices, and that's an extra 110 calories. And then I'm going to add an avocado to that meal as well. I think steak, eggs, and avocado sounds pretty good. Plus, I'm looking for healthy fats, and a whole avocado is 240 calories. So I'm just gonna add those macros together, and it comes out to 350 calories, 23.5 fat. I just rounded up, so 24 grams of fat, 35 carbs, and 8 protein. And then I'm just going to up my total macros throughout the day. And now we're sitting at 3,685 calories, 127 grams of fat, 451 grams of carbs, and 214 grams of protein. And like I said, I'll be sure to put this down below in the description. So if you guys are looking to see what I eat on a daily basis, you can go check that out. But if you guys are going to follow this diet, this is specialized towards me and my goals. So make sure you adjust the serving sizes accordingly. But it's pretty simple. And to finish out this video, I'm just gonna walk you guys through how I prep my 4th meal of the day. So when it comes to my meal prep, everything is relative, and you're going to notice that while we cook the ground beef, the potatoes, and the Brussels sprouts. We're gonna go through a similar process. We're gonna use gallon-sized bags, seasoning packets, and we're gonna use the air fryer at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for a total of 10 minutes. With everything that I cook, I always take it out at the 5-minute mark and either flip the tenderloins or, for example, break up the ground beef, which I'm going to show you in just a second. Also, I wanted to mention to you guys, you're not going to throw everything in there, the week's worth of servings in there at once. It won't cook through in 10 minutes. And for example, with the tenderloins, I only throw in 6 to 7 tenderloins at a time, but it all depends on your air fryer, the size of it, what can fit in there. But you don't want to stack things when it comes to cooking for this amount of time at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. But I'm going to walk you through the ground beef process. And first things first, I want you guys to check out the net weight. It says 6.75 pounds, and I eat 8 ounces a day. 8 times 7 is 56, and that comes out to 3.5 pounds per week. So my goal every time I walk into Costco is to find 7 pounds, and this was the closest one I could find. So this will most likely last me a week and 6 days. And once we break this up, we're just gonna get it sorted, and I'm gonna walk you through it. But pretty much we're gonna zero out our scale, and then we're gonna throw on our Tupperware that we're going to use just so we can get the week's servings. We're gonna zero it out one more time, and then we're gonna get 3.5 pounds up on there, and it's gonna come out to 3 pounds and 8 ounces, just for the fact that 16 ounces is 1 pound, so it's 3.5 pounds. And you guys can just search all this stuff up. If you need to get your exact serving sizes, I just Google it. And once we have our servings weighed out for the week, what we're going to do with the extras is we're gonna throw it in a gallon-sized baggie. And what I would suggest if you guys have this ground beef is to flatten it like a pancake before you put it in the freezer. This will just make it a lot easier to defrost when you use it next week. And with our servings for the week, we're gonna throw it in a gallon-sized baggie. We're gonna break it down like a pancake as well. And then we're gonna throw our seasoning in. And what I've been using lately is Kinder seasoning. I'm just using the taco blend for this meat. And you guys can get this from like Walmart or Harmon's. That's where I got mine. And I'll be using Kinder's for the Brussels sprouts and the potatoes as well. And once our seasoning's mixed well, we're gonna go over to the air fryer and preheat it. And rather than putting avocado oil and water in this bag with the ground beef, we're just going to spray the pan. So once it's ready, we'll spray the pan, and make sure you spray it well so the meat doesn't stick to the pan. And then we're gonna let that cook for 5 minutes. And at the 5-minute mark, what we're going to do is pull it out and then break it up, just so you can ensure that it'll cook all the way through. And while we're waiting on that ground beef to finish, we're gonna move over to minute rice. And I like minute rice. It's super easy to cook, and my serving size is a 1/2 cup of rice. So I'm just gonna have all my Tupperware out, and I'm doing a 1/2 cup of rice, a 1/2 cup of water, and then I'm gonna put it in the microwave for 1:30 minutes. I'm gonna do that for the 7 meals while I'm waiting for the meat. And once the meat's done, I'm just gonna break it up and make it look like taco meat just so it's easy to go in the Tupperware. These are gonna be like packed to the brim with all the stuff that we're putting in it. And now that we're done with the taco meat, we're just gonna pretty much put the lids on with the rice, and we're gonna move on to the potatoes. And for the potatoes, my serving size is 148 grams of potatoes a day. I'm just gonna times that by 7. We're gonna chop them up, and then we're gonna throw them in a gallon-sized baggie. Same exact process, but with this, we're only gonna use half of the seasoning packet, and then we're gonna use the other half with the Brussels sprouts. But for these bags, you are gonna do the 1/4 of the cup of avocado oil and the 1/4 of the cup of water. And for my Brussels sprouts, my serving size per day is 85 grams per day. So I'm just gonna times that by 7 as well. Once we get that weighed out, we'll cut it up. And I like cutting it into 4ths, but it's all preference. And after we have those cut up, we're gonna take the potatoes out of the air fryer. And you can notice that half of the potatoes are already cooked. Like I said, only put as much as your air fryer can handle. You want everything to cook all the way through. But after the potatoes are done, we're gonna throw in the Brussels sprouts for 10 minutes. And at the 5-minute mark, just take them out. And once everything is cooked, we're gonna sort it all out. And you can notice that everything is packed to the brim. And if you are bulking and you're trying to manage your time in the best way possible, I would highly suggest meal prepping. I know a lot of us work on a daily basis, and the last thing that I would want to do is have to make 5 meals throughout the day. You don't want to be overwhelmed throughout this process. And, you know, time management is huge for progressing in the gym and just reaching your goals. So make it easy on yourself. And I hope this helps you guys. I know a lot of you guys wanted to see how I prep my meals. And if you want to see anything from me in the future, be sure to put it down in the comments. These videos are for you guys, and I want to help you as much as I possibly can. But that being said, I'll catch you guys next week.